Hey friend, hey, and welcome to the Get Your Life Together podcast. I'm your host, Kelley G Johnson. If you're an ambitious woman who's ready to get unstuck, stop settling, and stop playing small so you can become your best self and manifest a life you love, this is going to be your new favorite podcast. I'm here with all the spiritual advice and science-backed mindfulness practices to help you rediscover your true gifts and purpose. It's time for you to enjoy a freedom-based life of fulfillment, happiness, love, and luxury. Now, if you're ready to become besties as I guide you to becoming the most empowered, confident, and aligned version of you, just keep listening. It's time to get your life together. Hey, lovely, and welcome to the Get Your Life Together podcast. I'm excited to talk to you today because we are discussing 5 ways for you to add more freedom and abundance to your life. Freedom is a big thing that I realized a lot of people want in their lives after I did a poll on Instagram yesterday. And it definitely was something that I've always wanted. And I still want more freedom. There's still more opportunities where I can add freedom to my life. So I wanted to share with you today how you can make that happen, how I've made that happen, and how you can just enjoy your life more and live a more abundant, freedom-filled one, because that's where it's at. Like, that's where the joy is and the fulfillment, and it's possible. So let's get into it. So when I worked in corporate pre-entrepreneurship, one of the many HR jobs I had was at one of the top supermarket companies in the US. And I was a human resources generalist manager there because I've always liked helping people, like always helping people reach their new level and get accustomed to new roles and things like that. But with that job came a whole lot of stress. And I was working in Wilmington, Delaware at the time. And aside from being the person everyone goes to with their problems, like, you go to HR when you have an issue with a coworker or a boss or financial issues, things like that, I was like the person for it. And on top of that, the department literally had its own issues, which I won't go too much into detail with. But there was things around like inappropriate staff and even racism, and it was very unfortunate to be in that environment. And I definitely told the CEO because I be squealing. I wouldn't dare be in an environment like that and not tell someone because it's offensive to me, it's offensive to others, and not on my watch, as Ayanna Van Zandt said. And so, of course, I eventually also quit. But I remember being there and to get some freedom and to relieve some of that stress, I went on these sun walks, I called them. I would go outside on my lunch break and find time to be out in nature and be in the sun. And I don't even think I brought my phone at times, at least not to listen to my podcast. I would have it on me because safety. But I wouldn't even really listen to anything. I would just kind of be present and take in all the sights and the smells and the feelings that nature provides us, really just tapping into the world as a whole and taking myself out of what felt like such a cramped, uncomfortable environment. And that was a huge thing for me then. That was several years ago. And I still use this today. Like, my younger brother even goes on his he calls them his abundant walks, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. No, he calls them his affirmation walks. So it's a really great thing to do to be present. It's a really great thing to do to be present in environments outside of the ones you might currently be in that are limiting you and making you feel small, and maybe you just can't leave right this second. It's like, what can you do to help ease some of that discomfort? So that brings me to the first step, or the first way I want to bring to your attention, which is making a decision to be more present. You have to decide to be more present, being more mindful of the present moment by tuning into what you're experiencing. And if in the environment you're in is not helping, step outside of that. Step outside of that. Notice your surroundings. Like right now, it's funny, the sunwalk topic came up when I'm in New York City now on a very gloomy, rainy, cold winter day. And, or technically it's still fall, right? But, I'm thinking about that. I'm also being present in this rain and gloom where some people might be really saddened by it. And I instead am appreciating what I'm seeing. I love the sound of rain. And looking out the window now from, my luxury apartment that I live in with my husband, like, it's a blessing. It's something to almost marvel at, right? So paying attention to your surroundings, appreciating them, having gratitude for it, being present no matter the weather, listening to your body, the sensations, your ability to be mobile and experience movement in so many unique ways. Thoughts that come up, paying attention to those thoughts, recognizing what serves you, what doesn't serve you. And if you're around people, it's like being present with others, being present with people that you care about. And that means being present in those conversations, right? Staying focused, getting off your phone, off your laptop, not letting things distract you so that the person you're spending time with in the present has your full attention. And ideally, that is also reciprocated. It's a great way to practice mindfulness and a great way to practice your communication and listening skills too, at the same time. So win-win. You can also do an activity with someone. It doesn't only have to be conversation, like deciding to be present in a moment with somebody. I miss the time where as a kid, you would play hand games like Miss Mary Mad and go outside and play double dutch and, things like that. We can find ways to bring activity into our environment to people that we care about. Finding just things that you can do to be fully present. Even doing things maybe you don't ideally enjoy doing, like maybe you don't like doing laundry or washing dishes, cleaning the house. I feel like no matter what you eat, whether you cooked, whether you ordered out, the kitchen's always dirty. So when cleaning the kitchen, at least in my house, but cleaning the kitchen is always something I feel like I have to do. But it's like, well, how do I be present when I do it? But how do I handle this task by being present and thinking positively about it, or using that time to have positive thoughts, to affirm myself in different ways. Like, wow, I really am good at sweeping. Like, pat yourself on the back. Like, I can really, clean a sink full of dishes pretty quickly, and man, I can load this dishwasher well. Like, I'd be great at Jenga and like, what's that other game? Tetris. So it's like, finding things to be present with to enjoy. And then the second thing to help you experience more freedom and abundance is letting go of any beliefs that you can't have freedom or abundance. Removing those beliefs that you're not worthy of it, because you are worthy of abundance, however it shows up in your life that you want, whether it's money or an abundance of love, an abundance of freedom, whatever it is. You deserve it. You are worthy of it just as you are. You deserve to be served. You deserve to be blessed. You deserve to be provided for, protected, all of that. So learn to create wealth and abundance in your life by letting go of the beliefs or thoughts about abundance that don't serve you. You can be rich in many ways. Rich in love, rich in money, rich in health. So appreciate the riches you have in life. Going back to that gratitude. Gratitude is a big thing. It can help you experience a lot of positive emotions. So begin to be grateful for the freedom and abundance that you do have in your life right now. You might be thinking something like, let's talk about money, right? I'm not good with money, or money is evil, or money makes the world a bad place. What if those beliefs were transformed into ones that actually serve you? Like replacing those thoughts with new thoughts, new beliefs. Like, you know what? I'm a great steward of money, and I am a responsible, wealthy person. Like affirming something that's good. Money is an important part of my life, and it helps me create an impact in other people's lives. Because when we hold on to those limiting beliefs, we often find ourselves feeling small and feeling without, living from a place of lack and scarcity. And when we do that, that's what we're going to attract more of. So it's important to think about our relationships with freedom and abundance and money and love even as something that is available to us, is something that we can attract and maintain in our lives in a healthy way. Another thing to do, which going back to my sun walks, is spend time outside. The world is huge. Like the world is a big, beautiful place. And if I never did those sun walks and constantly stayed in environments that made me feel uncomfortable, made me feel unhappy, I'd be more of a miserable person right now. I can guarantee it. So it's like spend time outside. Even if it's a walk around the block, even if you park a little further in the parking lot at Target and you walk a little longer to get to that front door, spend time outside because it's a great way to add that freedom to your life, to make you feel more abundant, to show you that there is more to the world than what you typically see in your day-to-day life. Spending time outside helps me become more present, more mindful, more grateful, even more creative, like changing your sights, going a different route to work, like change things up. We have so much flexibility in our lives. We do not have to have the same mundane routine day in and day out. Soak up what you see. Get that fresh air, weather permitted, that you're comfortable with. You know, if you are comfortable going out in the rain, just grab an umbrella and a hoodie, some rain boots. You'll be good to go. And then most importantly, focusing on the positives. And now, not to the point where you ignore the negatives, because negative thoughts may come up. We're human, right? But when those negative thoughts do come up, what you do is recognize them, acknowledge them, because I always feel like they just want to be seen. They want to be heard. They're like, hey, I'm over here. Do you see me? Do you hear me? And it's like, yeah, I do. I see you. I hear you. You're not serving me right now, though, so you got to go. And even doing something as simple as imagining it, whether it's a negative thought or phrase or image, placing it on a cloud in your mind and watching it float away. Because when you do that, you give yourself more room for that creativity, for that appreciation, for that gratitude, for that mindfulness. When we appreciate what we have in our lives presently, instead of focusing on what we're perhaps missing or lacking, it becomes easier for gratitude and reasons to be grateful to show up in our lives. It's a beautiful thing. So step outside or just open the window sometimes, get some fresh air in the house or at your job if you have that availability. The third way you can have more freedom and abundance in your life is by challenging yourself every day, even if it's the small things. And when I say challenge, it's the challenge of doing things against the norm, stepping out on faith, doing something different, being more creative, changing up your routine. Decide to do something a little different, and you may see a big result. We often think that we have to do something so epic and so big and huge to create a change in our lives. But the little things count. The big things only? No. The little things count. And listening to this podcast, the Get Your Life Together podcast, may be considered a small thing to you, but it can have a really big impact on how you live out the rest of your life. The small things count. You don't have to create huge changes in your life in order to attract more freedom and abundance. In fact, you can make a list of the small things that you can do every day, an easy, simple thing to do to add more freedom and abundance into your life right now. Like, you can pause me, I don't mind. Pause me, make a list of 5 little things you can do, whatever you consider small. They don't even have to be related. They can be so left and right. Like, it's like, oh, take 5 minutes to journal. Oh, sign up for a twerking class. Like, whatever it is. It doesn't have to all be aligned in a way where they match each other or mirror each other. Like, it's whatever you want to do. The key is just to find joy in the process. Find joy in the process instead of stressing about, what would happen next in your life because things are unclear and you feel uncertain and it's the unknown. Like, don't allow yourself to be stressed over that. The unknown of the future will always be unknown. We can have an idea of what direction we want to go in, but we really can't force the future. There are ideas we can see and affirmations we can say and abundance we can call in, yes. But the exact way in which it may happen, the how, we don't always know that. So instead of stressing over the unknown, appreciate what you can change. My husband says, control what you can control. And I love that motto because there are so many areas in our life, things we can do that we can control. And they could bring abundance and freedom and joy and love and all these amazing things into our life. So you want to take a chance on having a successfully free and abundant life? Start with the little things and watch your world change. And the last tip for you, which kind of piggybacks off of what I was saying about joy, is doing what you really love to do. Do what makes you happy. Find activities that light you up. I was talking to a client of mine today and I was like, sometimes we just have to tap into our inner child and remember what we enjoyed back then. Was it painting? Was it dancing? Was it roller skating? Find what makes you happy. Rediscover at your core what will bring you joy. What do you love doing? What are you good at? What do you want to get good at? Do what works for you. And it doesn't have to be what everybody else is doing. Maybe yoga isn't your thing. Maybe painting isn't your thing. Maybe pottery is. Find what works for you. Find what makes you excited to do, to sign up to classes for, to leave the house for, unless it's a virtual class, But sign yourself up for moments in life that make you excited and bring you joy. That's how you feel free. That's how you feel abundant. Do what you really, really love to do because life is for the living. And it could be a damn good life if you make it so. Control what you can control. You want freedom and abundance? Make it happen. Don't blame your job or your relationship or your family or your environment for not having the freedom and abundance. Instead of walking around blaming and pointing fingers, look within you and see what you can control to create that change. Complaining doesn't solve problems, honey. So control what you can control and do what you can, even if it's the little things, to create that freedom and abundance. My goal for you in this episode was for you to get some insight into learning how to create more freedom and abundance in your life. If that's what you experience, please let me know. And maybe you have it even in you to share one small thing you're going to do to create that freedom and abundance. You can shoot me a DM to let me know or screenshot this episode and tag me in your Instagram story so I know you enjoyed this episode. And if you haven't already, I'd love for you to drop a review down below so more people can know that this podcast exists and they can listen to it to help them get their life together too. And then always remember you are worthy of whatever freedom and abundance that you want in your life. So make it happen. You deserve it. And of course, I'm always here to help if you have any questions. Until then, sending you so much love on your journey to get your life together. Later, lovely.